They not.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Ethan, and in today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Typically I'd be talking about wrestling on this channel, but in today's video I'm going to be discussing my top 10 Pixar movies of all time. Now this was a really challenging video to make because, well, there are so many Pixar movies to choose from. But I just want you to take note that I said my top 10 Pixar movies, and so it has really nothing to do with your opinion. So if you could do me a favor, keep your comments to yourself. No, I'm just playing. But I would like to see what y'all think, and let me know what your top 10 Pixar movies are down in the comments down below. But let's get into it. Well, before we actually get into it, I have to give some honorable mentions because this list was actually really hard to make, and I kind of was like, oh my gosh, I almost forgot about these movies. But they were not good enough to make my list, and that goes to The Incredibles, Inside Out 2, which I just watched recently, pretty solid film. You guys should check that out. Finding Nemo, Monsters University, and Kind of Up. And here's a controversial take on this movie. Besides the first 20 minutes of that movie, how good is it really? Be honest with yourself. Kicking off the list at number 10, I give you Turning Red. And let me hear it. Give you a second. All right, calm down. Are you calm? All right. Yeah, this movie is mad underrated in my personal opinion. Mad overhated as well. I don't know why everybody hates on this movie so much, but honestly, looking back on it, it has a really solid story about a mom and a daughter. The mom trying to pretty much, take over her life, and the daughter's trying to grow out of that lifestyle, and she's just trying to, she's getting older, and she doesn't want the mom to be on her ass as much as she is in the movie, and dealing with your personal emotions, dealing with friendships and stuff like that. I really think has a really solid story. I love the 2002 placement, or whatever year it takes place in. And don't let me get started on the music.
I never met nobody like you.
Come on, man. Super fire, super enjoyable all around. Something that you could put on as background noise if you would like. But honestly, when Pixar came out with this during the pandemic, it wasn't even the pandemic. It was a little bit afterwards, but it was just a good movie. And I think it needs to get a little bit more respect because not a lot of people would put this in their top 10 list. Coming in at number 9 is going to be a cult classic, the sequel to the movie that started it all, Toy Story 2. And you're like, oh my gosh, if this is at number 9, Ethan, I don't even want to see the rest of the list. I could already see the anger in your eyes. It's kind of funny. Nah, I'm just playing. But Toy Story 2, probably one of the best Disney sequels out of all of them. Man, where do I start with this film? This film is absolutely perfect. I mean, arguably, some of you guys may see this better than the first one, but we'll probably get into that a little bit later in this video. But nah, Toy Story 2, absolutely peak. Love the introductions of the new characters such as Jessie, Bullseye, the storyline of, two different worlds and how they finally meet. Where's that from, huh? But just two different worlds and two different experiences with people, and just kind of seeing their perspectives on the humans, I guess you could say. And the story just never gets old. It just really doesn't. And I can't think of the villain's name on the top of my head right now, but he was really evil, manipulative, and he's a jerk. And I remember hating him when I was younger, and still probably hate him if I rewatch that movie. And man, just like I said, it's terrific all around. The story never gets old. I love it. Toy Story 2, just really recently watched the trilogy probably about a couple months ago, and the second one is so, out of the three, or well, I don't really count the fourth one, but out of the three, 2 is just, it has a special place in my heart for sure. Coming in at the number 8 position. Are you guys still with me at this point? But I hope you guys are. If you are, leave a like on this video. Comment down below what your thoughts are so far. But number 8 is going to be the first Cars movie. And come on, bro. Come on, you're like, Cars? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Come on, man. It's Cars, bro. I don't know why in 2024, recently, this movie franchise has gotten hate. I mean, let's not get it twisted. The second one is garbage, and the third one is. I don't like the third one personally. If I had a top 10 worst, that would be in the worst, both of those. But the one that started it all, absolutely amazing. Yes, it's better than Toy Story 2. It was growing up, it was one of my favorite. If I was like 10 years old, this probably would be number one. But growing up now, I know where it's placed at. It's definitely number 8 at this moment, in my personal opinion. But it's an epic story about cars, bro. Like cars that live. It's such a silly concept, but it's such an amazing movie. The races, everything about it. Getting lost in Radiator Springs. The ride at Disneyland is probably my favorite ride too, as well. Mater is hilarious in this movie. I really went back and to watch this movie recently, like probably maybe I would say like 2 weeks ago, and man, it's just it's just hilarious, bro. It's just looking back at it and just how like the jokes that were in there and not realizing it when I was younger. It's just funny. I don't know. And then the racing scenes when he's about to win the Piston Cups and then he purposely shows good sportsmanship. It's big character development. How Radiator Springs pretty much humbled the man, and it was a really he had to overcome the odds. He was a rookie, had a lot of cockiness, and he definitely got humbled. And Chick Hicks, the villain in this movie, didn't deserve that cup. And we all know who the GOAT is. It's not Jackson Storm. It's definitely our GOAT, Lightning McQueen. Coming in at the number 7 position, we got, drumroll please, Toy Story 3. Man, this movie had it all. This movie should have ended it all. I don't know why there is a fourth movie. I'm sorry, I'm a professional Toy Story 4 hater. I didn't like that movie whatsoever. I don't know. I guess it was a good send off to Woody, but this movie had a good send off to it all. It was just a great conclusion with the Andy experience, man. And then they decide to ruin it and they're making a fifth movie. I don't know. Lotso was such a great peak villain as well. He was evil. He hated everything. He hated the world, but for good reason almost. He had like a good reasoning behind his antics and stuff like that. I mean, obviously we're not on his side, but Lotso was a great villain in this movie. The whole plot of this movie, trying to get back to Andy and him, like the toys experiencing feelings of like neglect almost, I guess you could say. And yeah, this movie just had it all. The emotional scenes, Andy sending them off, the villain was peak, and this should have been the send off to a great franchise. And coming in at the number 6 position, we got dun 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 WALLE. WALL-E, man. What do I have to say about WALL-E? Peak sci-fi movie, love, romance, whatever you want to call it. Man, this movie still stands to this day. I watched this about, I want to say 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago at the latest. I be having movies on the background. You know how it be like when you're trying to go to sleep and you just got to put something on in the background. I had this in the background, but it's supposed to be a background movie, but I got myself up at like 2 a.m. watching this movie, like still in awe, like I watched it for the first time again. This movie never seems to like amaze me. The animation for its time, everything, the plot, just the storyline of how Wally loves Eva. And it's just, man, this movie is so unforgettable. And so you can't deny its greatness either as well. It's just one of the greatest Pixar movies of all time. It's not number 1, but man, this movie is just going to be unforgettable for the rest of my life. I'm going to be showcasing this to my kids type of deal. Kicking off the top 5, we got Coco. Coco, man, where do I start with this one as well? One of the top tier soundtracks as well, who I just started singing the song before I even started recording the audio. I don't even know how to say it because I don't speak Spanish very well whatsoever. But man, everything about this movie is great. The twist, didn't expect it. I can't lie. The emotions were pretty high as well. I love how compelling the story is and how everything just pretty much ties together. I really like how organized, I guess you could say, this movie was. And man, R.I.P. Mama Coco for real. But I don't know. I really like the whole concept of like they're shoe cleaners and they're not allowed to play music whatsoever. If they play music, they're going to be in trouble. Music is the devil, and essentially in this movie. And man, everybody in this movie plays a solid role. It's so enjoyable, so amazing, and so memorable. This, like I said, the soundtrack was amazing. Mi amor, you got me. Poco. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, we are sleeping on that soundtrack for real. And everything about this movie is just amazing, but still going to be at my number 5. And at the number 4 position, and this is where I get a little bit more passionate about these projects here. All these films are so legendary, and honestly, you can rank these any type of ways. And this is highly subjective. I can't lie to you guys. If it was objective, I'd be lying. But this is such a subjective list. You guys can move these around any order you guys want. Sometimes it can't even be wrong, except Brave. You know, if you have that in your top one. But anyways, coming in at the number 4 position, we got Inside Out. And maybe this was a little bit recency bias because the second one movie just came out. But man, the concept of this movie is so engaging. It's insane. I want to see an adult version of this concept. I want to see it in a PG-13 type of fashion because there is so much of this world that you can explore. We haven't even reached the tip of the iceberg, honestly, in my opinion. There is so much you can do, so much you could see, so much thing you can experience, so much emotions that you could probably put in there. But I mean, that movie could be so much longer. But Inside Out, this movie, to talk about this movie, like I said, the concept is fire and so freaking amazing. But, you know, the story and the plot line and the story driven in this one, you know, dealing with all your emotions as like a 10-year-old and just kind of was so deep when I was watching this when I was like, I don't know when this movie came out, what, 2016, 9 years ago. Like when this movie first came out, I didn't expect to come out how I felt. The emotions were high, you know, dealing with your emotions as a 10-year-old and just kind of just experiencing life and how your brain kind of works, I guess you could say, in situations. And it really just explains that well into a younger audience. Like, for example, Inside Out 2, like, that was great. Like, how they pretty much explained anxiety to a younger audience, I guess you could say. But this movie, man, just everything about it was just so amazing. And I'm just so intrigued. I want to see more of Inside Out characters. I can't lie to y'all. Now, kicking off the top 3, this is probably where you guys are going to start to hate me a little bit more. If you guys even made it this far. But kicking off the number 3 spot, we got the original Toy Story movie. And now you're like, bro, why'd you put 2 and 3 at the bottom? This one is the OG story. You can't go wrong with the classic. This one is still enjoyable. The animation kind of sucks but it's for its time. It was pretty freaking amazing. Come on. I mean, and then as a kid, you don't really care about the animation. You're just there to watch it. But you can't go wrong with the OG one. This one is still amazing, still stands up, dealing with the concept of, you know, accepting who you are kind of thing. And it was kind of deep for what it was, if you really think about it. And I mean, this is the movie that really started the history of Pixar too. Like this, if you didn't know, the first Toy Story movie was the first ever Toy Story movie. And I think it really set this stage for everything that was to follow. I mean, like I said, you just really can't get wrong with this movie. And it's just the greatest start to a legacy. And I love everything about this movie ever. And coming in at the number 2 position, that almost got the number 1 position, and it was very close. It's not that far off from being number 1 in my book, if I'm being quite honest with you. But coming in the number 2 position is going to be the Monsters, Inc. movie. You guys were like, damn, finally, this movie finally came up. I was nervous for a second, Ethan. I thought you didn't have it in you. But yes, number 2 is going to be Monsters, Inc. I can't get enough of this movie. I watched it about 3 times in the last like 2 weeks. I can't lie to you. The music in the beginning is so classic. It's so relaxing, actually. Had it as background noise once again. Decided to put this on because I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to put something on. And I forgot how legendary this movie was and how funny it was. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the most funniest Pixar movies I've ever watched. I can't lie to you. I love the duo between Sully and Mike. They're hilarious together. I love the voice actors. John Goodman. I can't think of the other. Billy Joel. I mean, I don't know. Billy Joel might be really off, but, I really can't get enough of Monsters Inc. It's so like I said, one of the most funniest movies. Still got a deep storyline trying to get her back into her homeland, and she wants to stay though, but she can't. And I just think everything about this movie, even the twist in this movie, was pretty freaking solid. Didn't expect that coming as well when I was younger. Obviously, nowadays it's just kind of like, oh, kind of expected that, obviously. And I can't say I have watched the TV series. Don't know what that's about. I heard that one is okay at best. I heard they're bringing back the villains though, so that's pretty solid. But yeah, I can't. Like I said, this movie is so epic, funny, and hilarious, and I can't get enough of it. So yeah. And the number one Pixar movie, the undeniable GOAT, the best Pixar movie ever in existence. We got Soul. And before you click off this video, let me explain why. This movie, the music, the story, the animation, everything about this movie is crazy amazing. I could go put this movie on right now and I'll enjoy it 5 times real fast. I swear to God, I would do that right now. This movie has so much depth to it. This movie talked about dying and accepting your fate. What? This is a children's movie we're talking about. This movie at 16 years old had me thinking like, damn, what am I doing with my life? What? This movie was so peak. The instrumentals, I think Jamie Foxx plays that character, the piano playing, the music was so amazing. It was so relaxing, so chill. I loved the jazz in his movie. It fits so perfectly. I love the culture that was involved in this movie as well. I'm talking about everything that was in this movie was just so great. Everything about it. Everyone who hates this movie, you either a racist or you're just a hater, bro. There is no in between. Like, there is no way that you actually hate this movie. I don't think there is a valid reason why anybody should hate this movie. It don't have to be your number one, but this movie is definitely top 10, top fit. Like, out of all of them, this movie is the number one movie. I can't lie to you. Like, I don't think that another Pixar movie reaches this level of depth that it has. Like, I'm so serious. I really stand on that. A lot of them do. They do talk about, like, Inside Out is a really close one. But this one was literally talking about, like, accepting your fate, dealing with life, dealing with hardships, and dealing with just simple, like, just little things. And, he was worried about something, and he wasn't worried about living his life for once. Damn, Pixar. You did it again. This movie was amazing. I wish it had a theater launch. We had to watch it on Disney Plus. Go figure, bro. I don't care what anybody has to say. This movie was genuinely the best Pixar movie I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. And I don't think anything is going to come close to beating it. And that is my top 10 list of Pixar movies of all time. During this video, I had a bunch of ideas. We will definitely see more top 10 lists, whether it be Disney, DreamWorks, etc., etc. I definitely want to just touch out of my comfort zone. I've always been a Minecraft or a gamer YouTuber, and I really like this style of YouTube that I'm doing now, like with whether it be commentaries or, talking about pro wrestling. Definitely going to stay in the mix of that, where there's definitely going to be a wrestling video within the next week for sure, for sure. But man, there's so much to talk about in like the world of film, the world of wrestling, or anything like that. And I just definitely find it more enjoyable than playing a game. I just grew up. That's all I could say. So I definitely think I definitely think I'm moving in the right direction. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys want to see more. If you guys did like this video, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments too with the top 10s. If you guys want to see more or you guys want to see less or what you guys want me to rank next, just let me know down in the comments. But again, I hope you guys really enjoyed. I really hope you guys enjoyed listening to my opinion, I guess. But thank you guys for watching again. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know I'm repeating myself. I sound like a broken record. But leave a like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.